Yeah, someone earlier was asking about a regret tier list again. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Seeing how my thoughts have developed over who I regret going for and who I don't. Do we have a choice? I mean, if you have a better idea. Yeah, so we're gonna have the accident tier. For the one accident on the account. Do I regret the accident more than everything else? I think so, yeah. Mods disintegrate me? Anything is better than tier lists. Oh, my bad. In hindsight, instant regret. Hindsight regret. Knew what I was getting into, but would trade for primos now if I could. And no regrets. Those are going to be the tiers for this regret tier list. Here's your tier list from last year. Oh yeah, we can take a look. Yeah, okay, some things have changed for sure. Oh wow, yeah. You look much younger now, do I? It's just the beard. Oh, and ironically, it's not even the beard, it's the shirt. It's because you can see my neck with this shirt. Anyways, let's put the 5 stars in here. So, Venti, Clee. I also need the, like, didn't get. Right, so didn't get, don't want, and didn't get, but kinda want a little. And that would be, like, probably here. Okay, so, should we do them in chronological order, or should we do them from bottom to top? Chronological? Okay. Venti. Venti goes in the no regrets category. For sure. Venti's far from all that good right now, but I'm still glad I have him. Like, even if he never becomes good again, even with witch buffs, it's just nice to have him for stuff that's gonna want grouping in the future. I think at this point, I'm a lot more meta-pilled than I used to be when it comes to what I want on my account. And a lot of the characters that are a bit weaker, but I still didn't regret that much last year, I regret a lot more now that the meta is a lot harsher. But Venti kind of bypasses that just because of his utility. Anyways, Klee. Didn't get, don't want, don't care. I think the didn't get, don't want category is probably, like, above at the accident category, actually. Anyways, Childe is gonna be a... Knew what I was getting into, but would trade for primos if I could. Is that true? Not necessarily, actually. Maybe we need a different category for this, because it's not really hindsight regret. I don't regret going for him. Like, he carried my account for a long time. Well, he didn't really carry my account, but he allowed me to play Hu Tao back when Hu Tao mattered for a long time. Maybe we need, like, a benched, retired, with pension. Because, like, I think that's where Childe belongs. You know? He earned his pension, you know? But he needs to go. Anyways, Zhongli. So, okay, we need to talk about Zhongli C0 and Zhongli C1, because I got his C1 by accident, and initially it was accident. Now I think it's kind of funny that I have it because of Lunar Crystallize. But it's not like it matters that much anyways. But honestly, Zhongli C0 is no regrets, straight up. Like, definitely still glad I have him. He's another one of those characters that's not that powerful in the meta, but that's still nice to have, just, like, as an option for shit. And he did so much work over the years as, like, resistance to interruption against the Primo Bishop, so I could test combos and reactions and explain shit. He's still by far the best Geo Shield Breaker. Yes and no. He has the best front-loaded Geo Shield break, but he's not actually better at breaking Geo Shields than Veressa. Veressa overloads just shreds Geo shields. It's like almost as fast on the gravity local legend to break the shield, but it keeps going after the shield if the shield was bigger. Whereas Zhongli doesn't, right? Yeah, Mawiko Overload is probably faster too. Maybe not, though. You have less app on Mawiko Overload. Probably still. I don't know. Anyways, Albedo. Albedo probably goes in hindsight regret. Ganyu didn't get, don't want. Xiao. Honestly, Xiao also goes in hindsight. Well, yeah, Xiao also goes in hindsight regret. Like, when he came out, I was still not the theory crafter I am now. Like, I was interested in theory crafting, but I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. That was still when I was figuring out the game. I think if I understood the game better when he came out, I might still have gone for him just because, like, I was skipping Hu Tao, right? I got Hu Tao in a rerun. I didn't get Hu Tao on her first release. And so I kind of didn't have a second good team other than National for a long time. But, like, honestly, Taser was probably still better anyways at the time. Right, like, you compare Taser pre-transformative reaction buffs to Xiao pre-Farazan. Taser was probably better, right? No, Taser was definitely better. Xiao just sucked back then, honestly. I think 1.4 had the swirl buffs. The swirl buffs came with Kazuha release. That was 1.6, I believe. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know if he falls into the instant regret, right? Because, like, when you look at what my account was back then, he kind of was nice to have when I wasn't playing Taser. Did I have C6 Beto, C6 Fischl, C6 Xingqiu when Xiao came out? I don't know if I did. I might not have. So maybe he was still useful up until I got that. Yeah, the one nice thing about Xiao is that having him on my account means I can always try to leaderboard on Akasha with him. And because he can use the same set as Varessa, I could actually have high Xiao ranks, which can be funny. But, yeah. I think I'd still put him here. Where did I have him last time? Did I have him in No Regrets? I did, yeah. Like, I think if the meta wasn't cooked as fuck, I would still be happy I got Xiao. I don't dislike playing him, right? But, like, right now, I would much rather have the primos it cost me to get him than Xiao. So, yeah, it's cooked. Hu Tao. Yeah, Hu Tao goes in here, honestly. I 100% knew what I was getting into with her. Like, it's a well-known fact on this channel that I pulled for Hu Tao just so I could shit-talk her. Should this category be higher than this one? Honestly, no. It should be below, right? And then this one should also be above. Yeah. You singing the Hu Tao theme is like my favorite Zajef clip ever. It is a good clip. It is a good clip. I agree. One of the good bits of this channel, indubitably. The colors are triggering me. Better? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nahida. Now, I think she's in hindsight regret. No. She's in retired with pension, actually. She earned the pension. Yeah. She did. It's because the llama is too good. Bro, I barely even play llama hyperbloom either at this point. Bro, the meta is awful bad right now. When was it good? Meta was actually really healthy and really good until Neuvillette release, basically. Neuvillette was the first big outlier. But as long as Neuvillette was the only outlier, it wasn't that big of a deal because he didn't really increase DPS. He just made it easier to get that DPS, right? With a lot of quality of life. And if you want to make the argument that, like, that's nice for casual players and it doesn't really break the game for non-casual players, then I think that's reasonable. And then Mawiko completely fucked the meta, basically. Is going for Hexerai a dumb choice compared to just pulling for lunar stuff? Right now, yeah, but they're probably going to release Hexerai stuff that's better than the lunar stuff, you know? I doubt that they're just going to make, like, Columbina teams and, like, lunar teams in general way stronger and, like, as good or better than Mawika just to never give units that good again, right? But, like, with the stuff that's out right now and the information that we have, which stuff is kind of not really worthwhile. A lot of my excitement for the witch buffs got killed by Columbina, honestly. Because Columbina is such a bad sign for power creep going forward that it makes all the stuff that became, like, pseudo-viable with the witch buffs not actually pseudo-viable anymore. Right? It's pseudo-viable for the pre-Columbina meta, and then immediately next patch they release Columbina and they buff every fucking boss to have, like, 50% more HP. And now all that pseudo-viable stuff isn't viable anymore. It's, like, really bad. My C6 Stilthnutty is close to not being able to clear. I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised it can clear. What boss? Are you benefying your C6 Stilthnutty? He was able to clear last. This one he can't clear a single one, I think. I see, that makes sense, yeah. Okay, Yoimiya is the accident, alright? Like, Yoimiya, you were an accident. I'm sorry. You're the what is it, Naganohara? Is that her last name? The Naganohara clan should have ended with your parents, okay? Like, that's all I'm saying. You were an accident. They needed to use protection. Anyways, moving on. Raiden. I'm still upset that I got her by accident, okay? It was back when I didn't know better. When I thought I would be fine pulling for 4 stars. I wasn't fine. I learned the hard way. Yoimiya's existence on my account is a testament to why pulling for 4 stars is a bad idea. Which 4-star? Knowing which 4-star it was makes it even worse, because it's a dog shit 4-star. I just wanted to have the 4-star. Yeah, it was Sayu. I thought Childe was also an accident. It was, but it's not an accident. Like, if I didn't get Childe by accident on release, I would have gotten him on his first rerun. So, like, I actually did not play Childe basically until his first rerun. I had a level 20 Childe that I didn't level out of spite because of that. Like, because getting him was an accident. And I only really started playing him at, like, when his rerun came around, because, you know, I wanted to talk about him for the rerun. Anyways, Raiden. I actually think Raiden's here. It's kind of crazy that almost every Archon is in no regrets right now. But I'm still glad I have her, honestly. It's just nice to have her for hyperbloom. And I don't play Nahida in hyperbloom anymore, but I still play Raiden. Isn't that crazy? That Raiden had more long-term staying power in hyperbloom teams than Nahida? Isn't that crazy? Would you play Nahida if you had Nefer? I don't think so, honestly. I think I'd just play Sucrose. Maybe not, though. Because, like, if I want to do Binefa at the same time as Nefer, I would want to have Sucrose on Binefa. And if not, I'd probably use Inefa over either Nahida or Sucrose. So I might not actually use Sucrose that much if I had Nefer on the Nefer teams. I was getting 82k on my Hyperbloom with C2 Nahida, tried DPSW with C1 Neuvillette, C2 Farina, C2 Nahida, and Raiden, got 128k DPS. Yeah, Neuvillette Hyperbloom is kind of just better than Xingqiu Yulon Hyperbloom. Because, like, it's really difficult because of burst animations to get max value out of your Xingqiu and Yulon burst in Double Hydro Hyperbloom. Right? So, most players, instead of getting, like, the upper limit, which is, like, technically it's, like, 18-ish on Xingqiu, but it's, like, realistically with burst animations being longer than 1 second, it's, like, 15 to 16. But a lot of people in practice get, like, 12. And at that point, your Hyperbloom is doing so much less damage. Whereas with the Neuvillette teams, Farina app isn't reliant on you doing any actions. It always happens. And Neuvillette app is, like, the main thing you're focused on, and it's not reliant on doing specific actions in between other stuff. It's, like, just the main thing you're focused on, right? So it's just so much easier to play. Anyways, Kazuha. This Stygian has made me reconsider, honestly. I think if it was last batch, I'd probably have Kazuha here. But with them making grouping relevant in Stygian, I think Kazuha goes here now. Like, the fact you don't start with energy in Stygian makes it so that Sucrose grouping is a lot less versatile. So, yeah. Yeah, I probably would have Kazuha here. Kokomi, didn't get, don't want. Did I say I kind of wanted her last time? I don't remember. No, I didn't. Okay. Ito, didn't get, don't want. Yeah. Last time was different, right? Last time I had him in the somewhat want. I don't want him anymore. Shenhe, didn't get, don't want. Yeah. Yai, didn't get, don't want. Yeah. Ayato. Probably our first instant regret. Like, I don't know, man. It's yeah. The like criteria for this tier list are different from the ones I did last year. Because this was like, would I trade them for primos, right? And some of these characters now I would trade them for primos, but like they did a lot for me over the years, so like I want to give them a little bit of credit because of that. Anyways, Yulon, I think Yulon earned her pension. I think I can give it to her. Hyperbloom didn't get, don't want. Sino. Yeah, Sino was instant regret. For sure. One of the very obvious instant regrets. Nilo's probably the first one that goes into didn't get but kind of want a little. I don't want her enough to actually consider going for her. But like, part of me kind of does want her. Yeah, Wanderer goes here. Daya. Yeah, Daya goes in hindsight regret. If I knew that we would start getting yearly 5-star selectors, I would not have gone for Daya on her banner. If I didn't know that though, like if that didn't happen, I would not have regretted Daya. The only reason I regret her is because I know I can guarantee C6 Daya eventually. Anyways, Baiju. Baiju goes into hindsight regret, honestly. I pulled for Baiju on a rerun. And that rerun was like... When was that rerun? Was it right before Mawika, I think? Was it with Farina? Oh, it was with Farina. So it wasn't right before Mawika, but it wasn't that long before Mawika, I guess. Like a year before. If it hadn't been for the Natlan power creep, I think Baiju would have still been nice to have. But the Natlan power creep just made it... Yeah. He's definitely a hindsight regret. Linny... Yeah, Linny goes here. Right, I didn't pull for Linny because I thought he would actually be nice to have on my account. I just didn't want to start Fontaine with no new characters. Neuvillette. Chat? I think at this point, Neuvillette is reaching the retired with pension tier. Still, my Neuvillette can't clear Dire, my Molani can. To be fair, your Neuvillette is 10-1-1, yeah. But like... This is a Neuvillette chill Abyss, or Sigyn, right? When it's not Neuvillette chill, Neuvillette struggles to get clears now. And it's kind of hard to have Neuvillette chill that also prevents Molani from working. Lillary Baptist. I mean, Neuvillette wasn't even that good against that, though. Like, he was fine. But he wasn't my best team for it. Like, realistically, I'm probably just... never having Neuvillette as part of my best 3-team lineup for Stygian again. And the main other stuff he's good at is like chill Abyss clears and stuff, but like I'd rather use Varessa because it's also brain dead. And I like playing Varessa more. And a lot of the time I have other teams than Neuvillette that are available. +1 IT character? I mean, sure, but fucking Candace is +1 IT character, and it's not like you're gonna struggle to get your IT bad. You're gonna struggle to get it because you don't have enough units. So it doesn't matter who the unit is. If anything, because there's so many good Hydro units, Neuvillette is worse because you would probably rather have a different element for ITs that don't have Hydro. Hot take, Neuvillette got power cut by Skirk rather than Molani. I can get behind that. That's part of the reason I don't play him as much. Pause, minus 20 Celsius is crazy. It's not that bad. It's fine. But yeah. Sigyn just really reduced Neuvillette's value. So, he's just not him anymore. Next, Risley, yeah. Farina. Not retired yet. Navia. Didn't get, don't want. Did I want her last year? Yeah, not anymore, man. Xianyun, probably in this category. I'm still very glad I got her because the plunge Neuvillette wouldn't have existed if I didn't. I don't really use her anymore. Chiori, yeah, who cares? Arlecchino. And instant regret. Sigwini. Arlecchino isn't retired? No, she's not. My Overload Arlecchino team is like around 20k DPS behind, and it's still more than good enough to clear shit. Can you elaborate on Clorinde Regret? She's just not nearly as fun as I thought she would be. Like I think her kit design is really cool, but her actual gameplay is kind of boring. I wish healing mattered more. I wish there were less annoying enemy hitboxes that when you dash into them with Clorinde's E, it makes you like levitate and then you have to stare at the enemy until you fall back down. I wish there was more variation in the stuff you want to do, and it wasn't just N3E every time. I wish Mawika wasn't as strong so that the other Clorinde teams could shine. Anyways, Emily! Hindsight regret. Around her, and it just wasn't. Made me learn my lesson, that's why I didn't get Inefa on release and got her on rerun instead. And is it like I regret getting Inefa on rerun instead of release? Like, just because Inefa didn't turn out like Emily doesn't mean that it was a bad idea to be careful. I'm so glad I waited. I learned a lesson from Emily. And I will never forget it. Molani? Like, as much as I shit on Molani very often, I still think that kit design-wise, Molani's kind of peak. It's something I've talked about before, right? The Natlan kits in general were just glow-up from everything before it, and Nodcry was a massive letdown compared to Natlan in terms of kit design. Like, Natlan kits did not miss. The biggest miss in Natlan kits were, like, the 4-stars that weren't really intended to be hits anyways, and Xilonen, who's kind of carried by the fact that she's still fairly easy to play and versatile, so a lot of people want to have her anyways. Chaska? Oh, Chaska has an amazing kit, chat. Like, yeah, there's missed opportunity because of the random nature of bullet selection, but she's still really cool. That outside of kit design, there's a lot of reasons to dislike Natlan, don't get me wrong. But I think that if the reason you dislike Natlan is because of the character's kit being boring, you just don't like Genshin Impact. Like, that's fine, but this is not the game for you. Because these kits are definitely the best kits in terms of design that we've ever had. Even Mawika, who's a massive fucking problem balance-wise, has a really cool kit. I do think Chaska gameplay is very simple. Yeah, the gameplay is simple, but the team building isn't. And it adds a layer of, like, dynamic thinking related to Chaska that is cool. 4 full CA and 1 bullet isn't easy. I mean, sure, but it's not that big of a difference from just 4 full CA. It's like, what, a 10% DPS increase? Not even, because I'm pretty sure optimal Chaska combos don't even do that when they have burst available. They'd rather spend buff uptime using burst than that fucking Gimp-ass 4 bullet charge attack. So it's probably less than a 10% difference to do it. So it's like, nah. I don't think it's that meaningful. Anyways, Skirk. Yeah, no regrets for sure. Kinich. Instant regret for sure. Honestly. Like, I don't think I had him in instant regret back then, but like, I recorded this pre-Mawika, right? This was... What patch was this? Was this right after Kinich release? I think so, right? Xilonen is there? So yeah, it was Xilonen release. So 5.1. It took like a patch and a half for me to actually start really regretting Kinich. I think that's still short enough of a time to qualify as instant. Like, it's not really hindsight regret. It didn't take a lot of time for me to change my mind on him. Xilonen, I mean, I guess I don't regret Xilonen. I still use her fairly often, I guess. She's very comfy to play. I mean, there are two main reasons why I still use Xilonen a lot. One, because I really like Verissa, which means when I play Mawika, I can't use Yonsan on that team. Right? because my Eon Sun is with Barissa. And 2, because this Stygian doesn't make Milani need Pyro. So you have a free slot that doesn't want to be Pyro, and it turns out that Xilonen fits there. So, plus Venceslau versus high res, which happens often. But like, if there's a high res enemy, I'm just not gonna use Malika against it. I'm gonna use Kirk or Versa. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much I'll actually keep using Xilonen. Because I don't know how much I'm gonna keep playing Meld Malika. Because, like, realistically, we're not gonna keep having enemies that allow you to play Milani teams without Pyro units. So Xilonen won't really keep being in my Milani teams. So the only team I actually play a lot and that will still use Malika will be Meld Malika, or that still uses Xilonen will be Meld Malika. But how much am I gonna actually play Meld Malika? Like, it is one of my strongest teams, but if I'm using it with Xilonen, it kind of isn't. And honestly, Malika gets countered, like Meld Malika gets countered by a lot of enemies. It's kind of less versatile than Skirk or Verissa. Or Malika Overload. If you don't want to consider Verissa there, right? Like, there's a reason why so many of the clears with Dire that people do with C00 Malika, like every patch, do Overload Malika instead of Meld. But I guess you could say the same about some of these, right? So I guess you can still be here. Chaska. Yeah. Chaska is definitely hindsight. Well, she might be instant regret, actually. I didn't take that long to regret Chaska either. No. Because unlike Kinich, I didn't actually dislike her playstyle. Right? With Kinich, I pulled for him expecting a strong, fun character. And then his playstyle sucked ass. And he got power crept like a patch and a half later. An insane amount. With Chaska, at least the playstyle didn't suck ass, so the regret only really came from me kind of from recent Stygian making it so that non-shield teams are just struggling a lot unless they're Malika. You own all the Natlan DPSs? Do I own all of them? Yeah, I do. Natlan was really bad for my primos, man. I was at 100k pre-Natlan. Oh, I can't even check my primos because I'm in Miliastra. GG. I'm at like 40k now. Anyways. Malika. Yeah. Sidlali. Yeah. Escoffier. Yeah. Verissa. Yeah. Inefa. Yeah. Llama. Yeah. Flynn's. I think he can go here, honestly. Like, on main, if I didn't make a new account and get Flynn's on that new account, I might have gone for Flynn's on main. Do you like his gameplay that much? No, it's just that I don't know if I can expect the dog to be as bad as it gets for Lunar Shill. And if we get another Lunar Shill that's worse than the dog, I don't even know if my Binefa will clear it. So, like, I might actually end up getting one of the Nogcry carries. I had decided not to, but I might change my mind. Anyways, so same goes for Nefer. How the fuck did the portrait go so far from the mouse like that? What the hell? Yeah, whatever. So, like, same thing for Nefer and same thing for Zabai. Like, I kind of want one of the three, I think. I hope Zabai is fun to play. If Zabai is fun to play, I think I'll go for her. Because I do not want to have to get Nefer. And I think between Flynn's and Nefer, I'd rather get Nefer. And if Zabai isn't fun to play, I'd probably go for Nefer over her. Your Zabai pieces are so good. No, they're not. In that case, Flynn's makes more sense because you have an Nefa. I also have Llama. So, not really. Anyways, Durin, yeah. Colomina, yeah. And then Varka. I've talked about this before, right? if Varka is not a standard character, I will go for him. If he is a standard character, I won't go for him, and I'll just get him from the selector. Because I want to get Varka, but ideally, I would prefer getting Varka without having to spend primos on him. So I am one of the few people that are desperately hoping Varka is standard, because I don't actually care how strong he is. I just know I want to get him no matter how strong he is, and if he's standard, I won't have to spend primos on getting him. So I'm really hoping he's standard. Fingers crossed. Praying, hoping, praying. Do we not know if he is/isn't standard? Do we learn such things after the special program? Yeah. Like, with Dea, there had been leakers saying that she was standard, but no one believed them. Or that she was standard, but no one believed them. Like, it was Omega sus. And there's a few other characters that were said to be standard, and that turned out not to be. So it's just really... I've decided that I would never assume that a character is or isn't standard until the special program specifies whether or not they are.